Hello everyone, and welcome to our English learning podcast. Today, we're exploring the exciting world of parkour. Have you ever seen someone jump across rooftops or bounce off walls? That's parkour. We'll talk about its history, philosophy, and why it's so popular. As you listen, think about how you feel about trying something new. Would you ever want to try parkour yourself? Let's get started.
Thanks for having me. I love parkour and can't wait to share its story. And for our listeners, don't forget to comment with your thoughts or questions at the end of the episode. Let's dive right in.
So, parkour is a word that comes from French and means route or course. It's now the name of one of the world's fastest-growing activities. Parkour athletes are called traceurs or traceuses, right?
Exactly. Tracers and traceuses move across obstacles in the most dynamic and efficient way possible. They use their bodies to jump, roll, and climb in creative ways. Now, did you notice the word acrobatic in that description? Let's explain that word.
Acrobatic means being able to do difficult and sometimes dangerous movements with your body. Think of gymnasts flipping or circus performers swinging. Parkour athletes do similar things but on the street.
That's a great explanation. And unlike gymnastics, parkour athletes don't use special equipment. They use the everyday urban environment. That means the stairs, walls, and even rooftops become their playground.
Now some people wonder, is parkour a sport or an art? David Bell, the founder of parkour, thinks the way athletes think is even more important than how they move. He says parkour is about overcoming mental obstacles.
Right. And that brings us to another vocabulary word, expressive. Do you know what that means?
Expressive means showing feelings. In parkour, athletes use movement to express themselves, much like dancers or painters show their feelings through art.
Exactly. Parkour is less about competition and more about expressing creativity and imagination through movement. It's a way for people to show who they are without words.
However, as parkour grew in popularity, it became more competitive and commercial. After it appeared in the movie District 13, more people started paying attention.
And that's when big companies, or corporations, got interested. Now, let's explain corporation.
A corporation is a large company or a group of companies. For example, Coca-Cola is a corporation that used parkour in their advertisements to attract viewers.
Exactly. And soon after, companies like Red Bull began sponsoring parkour competitions, making it even more visible and competitive. This shift changed how some people saw parkour more as a sport, less as an art.
Parkour also grew thanks to the internet. The YouTube channel Storer, for example, has almost 7 million subscribers. Can you explain subscriber for our listeners?
Sure. A subscriber is someone who signs up to receive updates from a service, like a YouTube channel. Subscribers want to watch new videos as soon as they come out.
That's right. These online communities allow people from all over the world to share their parkour videos and learn from each other, making parkour more popular and accessible.
Exactly. It's amazing how technology helps people connect and learn new skills, even if they live far apart. And watching parkour online lets people enjoy it safely, too.
Many people love watching parkour for its excitement. The story mentions that viewers revel in watching athletes move quickly and creatively. Let's pause to explain revel in.
To revel in something means to get great pleasure from it. For example, you might revel in listening to your favorite music or eating your favorite food. In this case, people really enjoy watching parkour because it's exciting and impressive.
And we can see that in video games too, like Assassin's Creed or Fortnite, where players run and jump like parkour athletes. It's a way for people to experience the thrill without the risk.
Exactly. Parkour's visual appeal is universal. People love both watching and trying it, even virtually.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, parkour became even more popular. It was a great alternative to team sports. Let's define alternative for our listeners.
An alternative is something you can choose instead of something else. So, if you couldn't play football or baseball, you could choose parkour as your activity.
That's right. Parkour helped people stay active and healthy when other activities weren't possible. It could be done outdoors, alone, or in small groups, and didn't need special equipment.
Exactly. And people also liked that parkour builds both physical and mental strength, important for coping with tough times like a pandemic.
John Hall, a parkour coach from Edinburgh, noticed more people wanted to learn parkour during the pandemic. He says it helped people deal with depression and inactivity. Let's take a moment to explain those words.
Depression is the feeling of being very sad and without hope, while inactivity means doing nothing or not moving much. Parkour gave people energy and motivation when they felt down or stuck at home.
That's a really important point. Activities like parkour can help us feel better in both body and mind, especially during difficult times.
Absolutely. It's not just about fitness, but also about finding joy and purpose through movement.
Now, let's talk about parkour and the Olympics. Some people wanted parkour to become an Olympic sport for Paris 2024. The International Gymnastics Federation sent a proposal to the Olympic Committee. Can you explain proposal for us?
Of course. A proposal is a suggestion, sometimes in writing, for others to consider. Here, they suggested including parkour in the Olympics, but not everyone agreed with this idea.
In fact, many people in the parkour community were not enthusiastic about the proposal. Let's clarify enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic means being very interested in something and wanting to be involved. In this case, some parkour athletes didn't want their activity to change or be controlled by others, so they were not enthusiastic about joining the Olympics.
So, there's still debate about how to define parkour. Is it a sport, an art, or something else? The main parkour group even sent a petition to reject the proposal. What does this say about parkour's true nature?
It shows that parkour is unique and deeply personal for many people. It's about freedom, creativity, and community, not just winning medals. The story reminds us to think critically about how activities are labeled and who gets to decide.
Absolutely. And as we transition to our vocabulary review, let's remember, parkour's story is about more than movement. It's about mindset and choice, both in sports and in life.
That's a great way to sum it up. Now, let's review today's key vocabulary words.
Let's go over the new words we learned today. First, acrobatic, someone doing difficult, exciting moves. For example, the gymnast performed an acrobatic flip.
Next, expressive, showing feelings. Example, her painting is very expressive. You can see her emotions in the colors.
Corporation, a big company. For example, Apple is an international corporation.
Subscriber, someone who signs up for updates. Example, she is a subscriber to many YouTube channels.
Revel, in to greatly enjoy something. For example, he revels in playing video games after school.
Alternative, a different choice. For example, walking is a good alternative to driving.
Depression, feeling very sad. Example, after losing his job, he struggled with depression.
Inactivity, not moving or doing anything. Example, too much inactivity can make you feel tired.
Enthusiastic, very interested. Example, she is enthusiastic about learning new languages.
And finally, proposal, a suggestion. Example, he made a proposal to start a new club at school.
Now it's your turn. Would you like to try parkour, or do you think it's too risky? Why do you think some people see parkour as an art and others as a sport? Share your thoughts with us. We'd love to hear your answers.
Thank you for joining us on this journey through parkour. Remember, trying new things can help you grow, just like learning English. Don't be afraid to make mistakes and keep practicing every day.
That's right. Stay curious, stay motivated, and enjoy the process of learning. Every small step brings you closer to your goals.
Before we say goodbye, here's a quick tip. Try using today's vocabulary words in your own sentences. Practice makes perfect.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Until next time, keep moving forward both in English and in life. Goodbye.